and welcome to Topham Chats, the show where I usually chat to various members of the Rooster Teeth community. This week I do have Kelly with me. Hi, Kelly.
Hey, Top.
How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Nothing new really on my end. It's been a lot of the same stuff, but it's good. Not new stuff is
Okay,
good.
cool. So, you might notice that Kelly's been on this before, and I said that I usually interview various members of the Rooster Teeth community. What I'm doing is because this weekend it's been a year since I set out a list of 10 goals that I wanted to achieve. I am going to look through that list and see how I've done with them, basically. So I can be like, yes, things are going well, or oh no, things are going bad. But I wanted to have someone alongside me to kind of just bounce things off of that have happened over the year. So I will start by asking Kelly, obviously, how has your 2014 been?
2014 has been pretty good. There have been a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but ultimately I think I came out in the green. So well is my answer.
Cool. Yeah, 2014 has been a pretty good year for me as well. So why don't I start with the first point that's on my list? My first goal for the year was to purchase my own place, somewhere that I could move into and I'd be financially responsible with all my own money and do everything like that.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that I've achieved that. I have my apartment, which is amazing.
Yes.
And yeah, I've got a mortgage and everything, and I'm a proper grown-up, apparently. So yeah, that was a whole ordeal. Like, that was back in March as well. So that's month 3. So I've been here nearly 9 months now, living on my own, which is just crazy. Like, do you live on your own? I don't know if I know.
It depends on when you ask. Currently,
yeah,
I do.
because you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
okay. I asked, and then I was like, I know the answer to this.
During the school year, I live with a few of my friends up near our school in our own apartment, which is entirely paid for by us. Nothing else. So right now, yes, I do.
Cool. Yeah, it's been a crazy journey, like trying to figure out everything and just like, because it's my own place and I can do everything I want. I can be like, I can buy a sofa and I've got curtains and I still haven't finished my bedroom, and it's like, oh god, all this crazy stuff going on.
I know, it's so
great.
I
was just like, so yeah, it's really strange. Just like, I'm so responsible, and I just don't feel it still. I'm just like, I still want to play games all the time, and that's what I've done all weekend, which is a silly thing to do. It's like, oh god, I'll just jump on Destiny and play for hours and hours and hours. But
absolutely no shame.
So the next. Yeah. So the next thing on my list was expand as a fitness instructor.
Ooh.
So I did. So I have my fitness instructor's qualification. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that. And yeah, I just was like, oh yeah, I'll just take up classes here and there. And then the first few months of the year were good. But then when I moved to be on my own, I found myself far more restricted with time than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So I kind of scaled everything back, and actually I just stopped entirely and just didn't get anything done.
Interesting.
And just haven't taken a class in like 6 months now. So I'm like, oh god, I could be out of practice. But I do go to Taekwondo and I do train there, and hopefully next year, this will tie into one of the points that I'm going to make later, but hopefully when I get to the point later next year, I'll be able to put all my knowledge to use again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of just abandoned it. I was like, oh god, no, I just can't keep going to the gym. I actually cancelled my gym membership recently, which was shocking to a lot of people because I'm like, I love the gym and blah blah blah.
Yes.
But I just didn't find time to go at all because it just encroaches onto my life. So I'm just like, oh my god, what am I doing? Just because I just cannot find the time. It's just ridiculous.
Yes.
Luckily though, this weekend my dad found my weights in the garage because they were sitting there. So now I have weights again, so I can actually do some exercise with weights, which is good, because having abandoned them was a bit awkward because I'm not doing any fitness other than Taekwondo, which is difficult because Taekwondo is it's good for all round fitness, but like it sometimes doesn't provide the intensity that I want in my exercise.
Yes.
I'm always like, let's do things with maximum intensity for everything ever. So yeah, it's one of those things. Crazy. Let me ask you a question,
sure.
Because this is something I've got into this year. But how did you get into playing Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons? I suppose the two of them are separate, but I kind of want to know, like, how did you start playing them? Because I know you do.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. Okay. So I kind of picked both up after I had some romantic troubles in my sophomore junior year of college. And
Hmm.
after that, I was like, wow, I really need something to like do. So as I'm sure a lot of people are aware, I am quite the nerd, and I have always been interested in these things, but I didn't have any friends that were into it or anything, not that I knew of at least. And so I kind of asked around. I was like, "Hey, would anyone be interested in this with me?" And a few of my friends piped up. And so some of my guy friends and we picked up some cards. I picked up some cards with my brothers who are younger than me,
Hmm.
and we kind of all just started playing. And it was funny because at first none of us knew what we were doing. It was completely different. Like it was, I don't know if you know the card top, but Sentinel Spider, the 4/4 spider with vigilance, we thought that was
Uh-huh.
like the best card ever because it was so strong. I swear for like a month we thought, oh my god, it was awful. We didn't know what any abilities were. It was crazy, but I look back fondly on those times just because we didn't. It was so ridiculous. But nowadays, nowadays 4/4 Sentinel Spider is nothing. But it's a good time. I love Magic. I actually had Magic Night this past Friday, so it was fun. Um, one of my newer decks I recently made is a human aggro deck, so it's a pretty good time. As for D&D, I uh
Yeah.
I got it. It's pretty much the same idea, except I started with my brothers, because I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to test things out because I figured I was probably going to be the DM anyway, and you don't want to test DM things on people that won't be as responsive or on people that will.
Yeah, they'll be experiencing the campaign. You've got
Yeah,
to keep it
exactly,
separate from them.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I wanted to keep my learning experiences separate from my friends because I knew that they'd be more hesitant to leave or stop playing if it wasn't like up to quality. So I played with my brother, started playing with them, and I learned a lot, and it's a lot of fun. I love, like, not even just like, I love playing, but the simple character creation process is fun for me. I love making the worlds. I love adding lore and finding and adding like those secret things that sometimes people find, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they come and do interesting different ways. I love it. It's good. It's great.
Nice. Yeah, I've just made my first character, like my first legitimate character. I
There you
inherited
go.
a character before, so I was like, oh, but I've just made a half orc barbarian who's just
Yeah.
ridiculous. And I'm like writing the backstory right now. I feel like 2 full pages. And I'm just like, yes, this is awesome. So yeah, I'm like really getting into D&D at the moment, like with my friends because we play every Wednesday. I think
Yeah.
this Wednesday we'll have off, but I think that's just a function of we've just finished one like our small campaign, so we'll move over to the new campaign with all the new characters that we've actually done ourselves, rather than like the pre-made starter pack thing.
Yes.
And yeah, just get into that, and it's like, oh yes. And like coming up as well, we're doing an M2015 sealed draft, so we're going to
Yeah.
get 6 boosters each and build 40 card decks and have a lot of fun with that. Like
Yeah. I remember you told
that's
me.
all come about like over the past 4 or 5 months. Oh no, I must have started in October actually,
Mhm.
because it was my friend's birthdays and we went to a curry place and they were like magic, and I was like, oh, I can get into magic totally. So I got into magic like really really hard really quick, and I was
It's
like,
really
yes,
fun.
this is wonderful.
Yes.
But it's really hard. It's really easy to just be like, I will just pay all the money so I can have good cards.
Exactly.
And then you look at it just like, oh. I bought the what one was it? I can't remember if it was Born of the Gods or another one, but I got the mono black event deck. And I'm
Okay.
just like, oh, it's so powerful. Oh, it's just so nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the things that like happened this year that I wasn't expecting at all. Like, it was just one of those things that my local friends, are just like, come play Magic with us or come play Dungeons and Dragons with us, and we get regular things set up. And before that happened, we were really just a bit, I don't know, separate, and we did our things, and I'd catch up with them once every 2 months or something like that, and it was a bit disappointing, a bit lackluster, and I was just like, oh, I wish I could see these guys more. And now we're doing like more regular things. I feel like my social life's gone way up, and
Yeah.
my parents are happier that I'm doing things outside rather than just playing games with people on the internet I don't necessarily know.
Exactly. Now
So
you
I'm
can
just
play
like,
games with
that's
people in
that's
person
fine.
with
I
cards
know.
and imagination.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, they think that I'm doing way better, but the reality is it's just a case of that there are now people around that I will go and see rather than just play games with people online, which is what I was doing anyway.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah, they're both great games to just do and chat to people with. So
What's your
let's go on to the next
favorite
point.
Magic
Oh
deck?
yeah, go
Out
ahead.
of curiosity.
My favorite card.
Oh yeah, that works too.
Yeah, I'm not sure I heard you correctly.
That's
So
okay.
I was like,
What's your favorite deck to use?
oh, favorite deck. I don't know. I don't know at all. I'm a big fan of red. So
Red?
like
Yes.
aggro.
Yes. That
Aggro is
makes sense. I can see
pretty
it.
nice.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm trying to build a red green that like starts off aggro, but it's also got big creatures in it.
Oh
And
yes.
that's quite nice. I bought the like intro monstrosity deck that's red green. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, this is like absolutely wonderful. So yeah, that was like a whole. Oh, it's nice to play, but I can only play against the other intro deck that I've got, which is the Mardu deck from Khans.
Yes.
So like you can only play that really with what am I saying? Where's my brain gone? You can only play those two really against one another because they're both intro packs.
Mhm.
Unless you're to like heavily modify them, they're not going to be good against really any decks that anyone's built.
Yeah.
So
You run into that.
Um,
Good choice
yeah,
though.
so
Good choice.
like that. Yeah, that's why I bought the event deck.
Mhm.
They're powerful. They're built like, ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they're good fun. Yeah, let's move on to the next point I've got on my list, which was it says start my first relationship, and it was I made a post blah 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 something about just like meeting a girl and being like this is amazing. And while I did try this year, it was ultimately unsuccessful to even get started. So that was a thing. And then I was like, well, this month is rubbish. But then my friends were around and people were online and things just turned in my favour. So I wasn't really downtrodden by it or disheartened. So I was just like, I'll just carry on and just be the awesome person that I am, and I don't need to worry about it. It'll just hopefully happen naturally.
Exactly.
I don't know. So I was just like, rather than trying to actively pursue it and put it on a list for goals, I'm thinking, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I can just screw it. It's not a major concern.
Yeah, it'll happen at some point. You got plenty of time.
Yeah, definitely.
And additionally, I am like super proud of you. Like when you first told me
Why?
about it all, like I was like, oh my god, Top, that's so awesome. Like, dude, I'm like super proud of you, man.
Oh, jeez.
I know, right?
So yeah, I'm just like, I'm slowly getting better at being a human being. It's like, oh my god, what am I doing?
I know. There you go.
Yeah. The next on my list is probably the simplest of my goals. I think it's just to turn 26, which is what I turned at the end of the week.
That's a fair goal.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
I was like, I just want to make it to my next birthday, and like because I knew I'd be living alone, I think like I know that it's not necessarily comparable. When I lived in Singapore, I got really homesick, but I think that's because of the distance and the difficulties there were to communicate with home.
Yeah,
and it was just a bit challenging, and it was a lot of hard work as well. So it's kind of understandable that that's what would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
But with where's I going? Yeah, moving and living on my own, I was cautious about it because I didn't want to just go and then not see anyone for weeks and work would take it out of me, and I'd just train all the time, which is kind of what happened for quite a while. But I'd also still have people to play with in the evenings. Actually, the GGG came into helping me a lot with all of that stuff because everyone was around, right? Yeah, I'm getting there anyway. This is hopefully where I'm naturally going to flow with it, but I've disjointed that with all this waffle.
It's fine. Just cut it out. Just cut it all out. It's good.
Yeah, so like I'd be able to get home at, I don't know, like 8 o'clock after training or something, and then people would be playing games online, so it really helped me that I knew that there were always going to be people around online to chat to play games with, and just generally have fun. Because yeah, beforehand I was just like, I don't know what games to play and I don't know what to do, but yeah, naturally it just seems like it's a good fit to have a lot of people around, and then at least some people will be playing the same game, or if they're not, they'll be up for playing games with people, which is really wonderful. Speaking of GGG, this is where I'll go. How have the PC nights been going recently?
Oh my god!
I saw that you played Minecraft this week, and I was like, well, I'm a bit jealous, but at the same time, I was massively ill and came home early from Dungeons and Dragons. So
everything PC stuff in GGG has been fantastic. I would just say GGG in general has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Overall, like the group has grown. We've gotten some really amazing people. PC nights specifically, are up to an average of like 7 or 8, opposed to our average of like 5 or 6, and Minecraft nights are up to an average of like 12. And that's really really cool for us. Like
Yeah.
it's just crazy, and it makes us think about like how much bigger things might get, and it's just awesome. But yeah, we played Minecraft on Wednesday this week. We'll probably do it on Saturday at some point, just because I know more people are available on Saturdays. But
Yeah.
I mean, we played Minecraft Survival. That's kind of the difference there. And we rarely do like straight up Minecraft Survival, but it's something that, because we rarely do it, we decided it could be something that we actually use as a an event for our Wednesday game nights. But which, like I said, we'll probably do on Saturday at some point too. Saturdays we reserve for our Let's Plays and everything, but you know, survival can count as a Let's Play too, so we'll see what happens. But it's been absolutely fantastic. I love the people, and it's great. So yeah.
Yeah, there's been so many people joining in as
Yes.
well. It's been great. Like, I'll just like, I'm not a fan of competing with people in Minecraft. I get rather frustrated. The other day, I was like, nope, I'm not going to do it, and just left after like the first round or something, just because I thought there was shenanigans around. I actually don't know the resolution of that, but I was just like, nope, I'm just going to be a bad person if I keep playing. So I was just like, I'll leave. So I did, and I went and played Destiny instead, which is just a whole ordeal. Just Destiny, just oh god. But yeah, like it's always awesome to just like pop in and just be like, "Hi guys, how's it going? What games are you playing?" Blah 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 blah. And yeah, I love the collaborative kind of things that we do. Just like, yeah, the collaborative things are always fun. Yes, I really enjoy this. So yeah, that's a cool thing. Minecraft's a lot of fun. I wish I had a computer to play with people though on, but I don't have a computer.
Yeah.
So, like, I say a computer, okay, a computer I can game on. Well,
I agree. This laptop is okay, but I always wish I could have something better. So we'll see.
Crazy. Right, so we talked about the GGG, and that was all wonderful.
Yes.
I will now say that the next thing on my list was to grow my YouTube channel. I make a bunch of videos, and it said I've just recently been happy with them, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But it's more been over the last few months, kind of refining what I was doing. I cut out a lot of the video blogs that I did. I actually haven't done one in a long time. I should be getting a new camera soon, which will do video, and I'm just like, oh, that's so wonderful. Now I get to do videos again. So I can I'm probably going to start doing more again. But I think one of the driving factors in doing it all was the fact that I was getting nerd block and loot crates consistently, and I was like, yes, that's giving me motivation to do things. But I kind of just got to a point in the year where I was like, I actually can't afford to continue doing this, so I have to stop. And then I was like, well, and then my laptop died, and then everything just went a bit south, and I was just like, well, I'll just stop doing everything, but I'll try and keep doing the chat shows that I do, which are fine, which is good. At least I'm doing them consistently, and I've got them going for, I don't know. This would be what, the 22nd one in a row, I think. It might be the 23rd, because I did one just talking to myself on video for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But 21 episodes with 21 different people, pretty bloody good, I think. So I was pretty happy with how that's going, and I haven't looked at the view counts for any of them in weeks now. I don't think I've looked at one since about week 12 or something. So I have no idea how many people are watching them, but people are like, I like them, and that's cool. That's all I want to hear. That if one person's listened to it and they say they like it, then that's plenty good enough for me. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
And you know what?
That goes on.
I like them.
Yep.
So that's even more important. So there you go.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
So the next point on my list was to start a podcast.
Oh.
Which is what this roughly is. I call it a chat show, but it's a chat show podcast where I get to voice my voice a lot. So yeah, that's kind of one of the cool things that I've somehow put my two goals together, and it's going well for me. I'm very happy with how it's going, and it's sometimes it's a bit difficult for me to get motivation, but I'm just like, I'll get there, and I like I said, I've made it 21 weeks in a row, and it's not been that much of a challenge. I can always find someone that wants to do it.
Yep.
Except for the week where I had to talk to myself, but that's because I had 4 people lined up, and they all couldn't do that week.
Yeah.
And so I recorded 4 at the weekend, and I was like, now I don't need to do any for a month. That was crazy. So I'm going to ask you, how did when we talked originally,
Yes.
I asked you about the community meetup that you did, the one
Yeah.
at the one in DC, right? Is that the one?
Yeah, it was in DC. Yes.
Yeah. How did that go?
It went really
Or
well.
had you just done it, or had you?
Yeah, I had set the whole thing up, and we
Yeah.
had actually more people than I expect to show up, which was always amazing. Met some really
Mhm.
cool people. I unfortunately had to kind of drop it because once I got into the school era, I wildly overestimated the amount of time I was going to have, so I had to make a choice between GGG or RTDC stuff, and I had to drop that myself. But people have recently been talking more in the discussion chat about RTDC, so I'm probably going to help them coordinate a little bit, and give adminship to the person that I think will use it best, and
Mhm.
hopefully it can go well from there. I won't be able to take the leadership role that I was hoping to have, but I think it'll be good, and a lot of people seem really excited for it, so I think it's going to go well. Yeah,
Ah, that's really cool.
yeah,
It's
definitely.
good. It's good to hear. It's good to hear it's at least still around and
Yes,
still going on.
yes.
Cool. Yeah, that kind of doesn't lead me onto a point as much as leads me on to the fact that this year's been crazy because the beginning of the
Mm,
year I went to the RVB Scotland meetup in Glasgow. I was like, I'll go up and I'll stayed in a hotel, went and met people and went to the whole event. There was like 60 odd people during throughout the whole day, and I met a whole bunch of people. And it was awesome. It was so much fun. And from there, I've gone to I think 4 or 5 more community events
yeah,
since then. I've met up with so many people from the community that are here in the UK, and I'm just like, this is so damn good and so much fun that I'm pretty sure next year I'll be going to RTX just so I can meet up with more people and just be like, oh, the people, and yes, because it's been so rewarding just to just meet up with people and be like, let's do things, let's have some fun, and
hmm
it was great, and like yeah, the RVB Scotland meetup was probably it was the first one I went to, and it was yeah,
yeah,
it was great, and it really showed me like there are similar people like me around in the community. And I went to RVB UK, which is in Leicester, just up the road from me, um, in August, and that was also excellent. So yeah, and it's just one of those things that really got me not necessarily engaged because I was already engaged with the community, but really more enthusiastic about doing things and just running and jumping at people. And yes,
yeah.
that's something I do: run, jump, and then like attach myself on and just hug until they just force me off of them. Like, no, stop it.
Of course. Well, Top, you have to go to RTX because we're trying to have so many GGG people go. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so
Yeah,
cool. And you know what?
I was
Even if
speaking.
like no one else shows up, Top, if it's just you and me, that's gonna be awesome too. So it's cool.
That'll be plenty. Yeah.
Totally
Well, I was
worth it.
speaking to Ellie the other day because she was like, I've got money to buy a plane ticket to RTX. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. She's like, I don't want to. Oh, yeah, because you commented
did,
on
yeah.
that. She's like, oh, that'd be cool. And I was like, yes, we will travel together. And she was like, yes. So actually, I still need to speak to her about that. I still got to do like a whole bunch of things.
Mhm.
Just like, I always like, yes, let's do things. I'm like really ambitious. I say, like, put my name out everywhere. Just like,
Yeah.
let's do things. And then I'm just like, oh god, I've got so many things to do. It's like, it's kind of because I'm just like, I'll jump into everything first and then think later.
Yeah.
Whoops. Oh well. So the next thing on my list was run a 10 kilometer, an obstacle one or just an outside one.
Mhm.
It didn't really matter to me. But over the year, I did 2. I did one
Ooh.
in June and I did one in September, I think.
Mhm.
September or October, I can't remember which. But I managed to come 21st in the first one, which wasn't too bad. I was happy with that. And then in the second one, I ran it and I came 6th, and I absolutely beat it through.
Yeah.
that.
Holy
It was
shit.
awesome.
That's like crazy.
I was just like, yeah, out of a field of 140 odd people, I was pretty damn proud of coming
Yeah.
6th. I was like, oh
Damn.
god, I'm pretty good at running, and I haven't ran since. And that was 3 months ago, so I'm just like, oh god.
Well, you know,
Like I
Tom,
said,
you gotta call it quits when you're that high.
When you're ahead, yeah.
exactly.
When you're ahead, you got to call it quits. It's like-
Exactly.
Yeah, it was just. I
Man.
think it was just a case of like, I was getting hurt like when I was running because like now I just can't run because like I can't even walk comfortably long distances at high pace. I'm just like, oh god, I've got to do something. So I'm just like sticking to taekwondo because I'm okay at taekwondo and I can do that and use my fitness and things like that.
Yes.
And that's fun. Which leads me on to my next point, which was get my red belt in Taekwondo. And I managed to do that back in September, which is good because Taekwondo's fun. And on my list for next year, things to do will be get my black belt, which should be in September next year. And then I'll be like, yes, kick.
That would be awesome.
And that'll be really exciting because once I get my black belt, then I can do instructor stuff. I can start instructing and then helping out with the juniors, helping out with the adults, and just try and really apply all the knowledge that I know, but also try and incorporate some of the fitness stuff I know as well.
Yeah.
And really just like push it into people's faces. Like, yes, we might not be the like most. Yeah, I just want more determination from the people in the club. And
yeah.
I've got a whole bunch of ideas and things like that, but I need to get the not necessarily the respect, but like the wealth of knowledge behind me, so that I can be like, yes, I'm a black belt and I know what I'm doing. Just like fingers crossed, just like hiding behind my back. I know what I'm doing. Yes, wink. But
of course.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a crazy thing.
Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. There's 2 more points left on my list, and I will just blitz through one of them because it's irrelevant really. It says be less disingenuous. I'm not very good at being sincere, and I can be condescending at times. But I don't think any of the times that I've actually spoken to people, many times this year, especially near the end of the year when once I was living alone and I was speaking to everyone and we play all the games together, I don't think, aside from just making fun of someone when they're doing something completely stupid, like Elle saying fruition or something like that, I think I've been pretty good at just being sincere and just being jovial about things rather than being a jerk, so to speak.
Yeah.
So yeah, like things I think have kind of changed, but yeah, I've kind of stamped out all the negativity that there was around, and I just feel better about it in general. So that's fun.
It's important too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And and then the last thing was, and it's on my list, and it's probably been on my list for the last 2 years as well. So not just the year that we just had, but the year before as well. I'm pretty sure it was on that list as well. It was finish writing an album, and yeah, I'm not nearly done yet. Or I am nearly done actually. I've got like 4 songs, and I've got 3 that I'm working on. And I'm just like, I could totally finish these and just put them out, and I'll be fine. But I'm just like, it's a lot of work to do, which is a really bad way to think.
Yeah.
But it'll be fine. It'll pan out. It'll definitely pan out.
Definitely.
But yeah, album, music's fun. That's how it goes, basically.
Definitely,
but
yeah.
Not all music.
100%.
Not all music's like that.
Oh, well, you know.
Definitely. But yeah, I set out 10 goals last year to achieve, and I've achieved 7 of those 10 goals, and I think that's pretty good, considering everything. I did move into my own place, and then things just got weird. It's been like a very, very strange year in general. And yeah, the GGG came around. I got to play lots of games with lots of people. And then there's all the other people. And then there's, just everything ever. And it's just, And work's crazy. I've got moved No, I didn't move departments at all. My job description changed. That was it. And I'm training my manager, and now there's 2 people who work below me because I have technicians to do stuff for me. I was like, oh my god, I'm making it somewhere. But yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy year.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd just get someone on who's experienced a bit of my crazy year.
Yes.
Specifically the last few months, just to bounce some ideas off, which is why Kelly has been here. Yes. And that's about it really. I don't really know where else to go with this, but that's it. Any closing remarks from you, Kelly?
Thank you for having me again. It was awesome. I have a question. Am I the first repeat that you've had?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I
setting records.
chose.
I'm setting records.
Nice. I purposely chose someone that I'd already spoken to before because I didn't want to get someone new on.
Yeah.
And then just talk all over them the whole time because that's not typically what I do.
Yeah.
But I just, because otherwise it'd be like an hour long of me just going through the whole list and then asking all the questions and But yeah, I knew you had some definite like things in common, like Magic
Yes.
and Dungeons and Dragons, and then I knew about the community meetups as well. So I just thought I'd like try and incorporate it all together and try and get some sort of a flow going. And yeah, that's what we got today.
Yes.
So yeah, right, Kelly, thank you very much for agreeing to do this.
Thank you for
Again.
having me. Yeah.
No problem. And with that, thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.